Humans are weird mammals who take joy in infusing our minds with fear, triggering our fight or flight reflexes to make us feel something we might otherwise never feel. For treading into an emotionless and empty life is worse than feeling something as pure as fear. To feed into that masochistic way of life, I turned my Project Zomboid into a totally unfair horror game, turning my zombies into creepy, twitchy murder machines who try to rush indoors during the day, and turn into full-fledged sprinters who search for me during the night. This great combination is sure to make my stay in this doomed world rather uninviting. The city life is harsh and unforgiving, but so is the wild, as the sun has left us long ago, leaving us only with the freezing reality called winter on Earth. These scenarios make even the strong-willed among us on edge, for every activity will put our mind to the test. Will we break under the pressure and fear, or will we overcome these prodigious hurdles, and realize fear is just a manifestation in the mind, which should be seen as nothing more than the mind killer? I wake up on the first day, the world now fallen, but in our mind, it's just another day, having overslept even to the event that is world ending, being unaware of the virus and its effects. Having barely woken up, I hear a faint sound of my window smashing, playing all the different scenarios out in our conflicted mind. We sneak out to hide our presence, hearing ominous growls on the other side of the door. One of the most dangerous things is facing an unknown threat unprepared, so before opening the door, we gather some cooking utensils to face whoever dared to break our peaceful slumber. Turning the doorknob, I spy 2 intruders in my sanctuary. Only a brazen fool would take such unfair odds. With a fast maneuver, I separate them, cutting the first down as his partner in crime tries to break the door. But his impatience will be his demise, for little did he know that he was next. In hindsight, me defending my sanctuary was a foolish plan. These vandals brought a whole group to harass me in my house. But hindsight is 20/20. I stand by my decisions, for indecisiveness is a fool's game. Now feeling emboldened, I quickly dispatched all those that are trying to harass me, and used my furniture to delay the vandals their approach. My home is my castle, and I'm under siege. I loot all premises within my house for supplies, for a new attack lingers around every corner. To get the nerves down, I go back to my room and utilize my TV barricade for entertainment, enhancing my skills from the important live and living channel. You see, we haven't always been this productive, for before the world fell, we weren't a precious member to society. Ailed by our mental demons, we just tried to survive in the unfair world we live in. We lived day by day, not spending our mental capacity on elements outside our grasp. Now a bit more refreshed, we loot the fallen for warm clothing, for we need to go out for food, noticing how the people that came in seem off, almost as if they are possessed by evil. We are social animals. Grouping up is in our blood, it is part of our very being. Our neighbor will surely grant us some food to satisfy our cravings, and perhaps aid us in this dire situation. Upon getting closer, I felt hesitant, noticing the crazed hit him too. I decided it was imperative to our survival and went on ahead. Upon taking a peek, the hesitation soon returned, but backing a dog in a corner will make him bite. There was no choice, I needed food. Upon entering, I came to the realization that the neighbors had an alarm, so I ran. Fearing for my life, I quickly dumped the corpse out of my room and hid in the bedroom till the alarm eventually subsided, snacking on my small supply of food to gather strength for a fight. But then it dawned on me, why did the possessed not make the alarm go off on the way in? It's in that moment I remembered that we suffer from intense schizophrenia, contemplating that the whole alarm was just a mere illusion, or perhaps the whole day was just an illusion. For an unsteady mind creates unsteady real-life situations. As I was thinking about the complications and limits of the human mind, I realized more thugs tried to find refuge in my home. I dispatched them and looted some more clothing from my closets, making me more suited for combat, realizing that not all windows are boarded up or blocked, so I always gotta keep an eye open. After all that excitement, I watched more TV to clear my mind, and got lost in the treasure that is information. After my binge watch, I got a cup of water and went back to my bedroom, which was once a place of peace, but now an agonizing cell of isolation. As I was about to enter the dream world to forget the monstrosities that are found in the conscious world, my mental ailments worsened, locking us in a state of panic. To help in the mental struggle, I grabbed and read a magazine to offer myself some distraction and hopefully reduce my panic attack. Feeling a little better, I decided to go to bed. We wake up bolt upright, it now being late at night, When the crazed are most active, we experience our sanity lingering on the edge of insanity, witnessing the weak link of humanity, the frail mind and soul that lingers in our healthy physical form. We have no choice but to wait it out, in hopes of a better day come morning. As the morning arrived, we got greeted by a familiar sight, an acquaintance we vividly remember and cherish, which is the live and living channel, but not even the best cooking shows can cure our ailing maladies. It's time to leave this place, our castle now having a curse lingering upon it. We have to find a more desolate location that we can call home. We feel sadness in the thought of abandoning our home, leaving our memories and belongings behind, but only through adaptation to new situations one will find success and salvation. First, we gotta finish unfinished business. We loot the bodies to make some bandages, and try to loot the neighbors before we head out. With caution, I snuck past the hiding devils with relative ease. Then, being too distracted with trying to stay sheltered, I looted the edibles and left before they noticed me, pondering about what their motives were. Perhaps they just seeked shelter from the storm the same as we do. As I looted more houses filled with crazed individuals, I found my frail mind to worsen with each step through the cold frozen wastes, making it tougher and tougher to take on foes. Feeling my sanity vanish with each strike I land, I decided I won't make it off grid this day, so I snuck upstairs and read some books to take my mind off my puny existence, enjoying the view of the cold world as I sit warmly inside. In the next room, I find a gun, which in the hands of an unstable individual can be perceived as both a blessing and a curse. In the bordering bathroom, I took some beta blockers against my panic attacks and gave myself a cleanse, feeling the sickening corruption wash off and feeling reborn in purity. Now feeling refreshed and safe in this bigger castle, looking down at anyone that would wish me harm. We are filled with hope as we go to bed, craving a good night's sleep. We wake up at 2 AM in shock as the demons whisper in our ears again. We learn that it's a fool's game to remain optimistic in this crumbling world, where only the crazed individuals in the street rule. We cautiously look around to see if the voices are real or not. In the meantime, we try to suppress the illusions by taking more medication. With the meds not being strong enough, all we can do is wait till morning, reflecting upon how far we've come, to make us think of something bright and positive in this dark and cold world. For those that get lost in the darkness of the mind, rarely get the chance to escape. At roughly 7:30 AM the voices stopped, and we ate our first bits of food of the day, planning our next steps out in our clouded mind. Today is the day we must get off grid, escape from the city, which is now nothing more than a stronghold of evil. Once outside, I scan my surroundings and make my way out of the city. For the first time, I felt a sense of tranquility, walking through nature, uncorrupted by the vile forces that are at play in the civilized world. Eventually, I stumbled upon a clearing, which meant my destination was getting closer, a place outside of the city that I can call home. Looking out on a vast field, I spotted an unwelcome sight. More crazed fiends who would love nothing more than to end me. Going around the monsters, I found a storage unit. I dispatched those who took shelter there and looked inside, finding many supplies to make our home sustainable. I went on to find the place the shed belonged to and stumbled upon the farmhouse. I went to open the door and another alarm went off, unknowing if it's real or my mind playing tricks on me. Quickly, I dispatched the witnesses and find myself a helmet to cover my head. For what lies within my head is flawed and twisted, but a necessary flaw that makes me into the man I am. I kill more enemies in the back, getting winded and dangerously weary. I retreat back into the bordering woods to reminisce on the decisions I've made. Doubt besets me. Perhaps this place is no cleaner than the city. Perhaps this house is infiltrated by the same demons that linger in my head. With the day now getting late, I decided to try and hide inside for the night, as nighttime out here means certain death. Upstairs seemed empty, except for the one deviant. A misjudgment, one that nearly cost me my life. Now back where I started, but injured, tired and in extreme panic, I bandage up and go into the woods. The time of finding a hiding spot being over, I surrender myself to the only pure deity left, handing myself to the will of nature as we did in the days of old, sitting by the fire, hoping to wake up the next morning.